G'day everyone, Alex McKellar here again with another Top Split TV race replay. Picked one round, I think we're up to round 8 here at Hungaroring, the Skip Barber season 2 of 2022, all the twos. Picked this one, it was my first race of the week. Picked this one because I really thought there was a couple of key moments in the race to talk about strategy at this track and to show you how sometimes at a track that's known for being difficult to pass at, you've got to really think, well, multiple corners ahead, really. That's the key. So anyway, let's take a look at the grid, who showed up. So Tomohiro Takatsuji, he stuck it on pole. The Japanese drivers once again doing well in quali. Alex Wilford, who I haven't raced with before either of them, actually, filled out the front row. I dropped a couple of tenths in turn 1 on my second quali lap. This was actually, as I said, my first race here, so I was a little bit underdone here on a Saturday. Yeah, been a busy week, so I didn't get a run until now. Anyway, what could have been Juan Lemos, Astro Racing, which is Christian Perez and Oscar Maza and Adrian Fernandez, those guys putting together a good team. And the big gun in the race, Leo Ovcharov. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong, Leo. I'm trying, mate. He stuffed up his quali as well. He is the class in the field, car number 1, approaching 7k I rating. And he was the guy I was watching for in this race. In terms of both measuring myself and honestly, there's a bunch of cars around us, obviously, but I really sort of laser focused in on the battle between he and I. Even didn't matter kind of where we finished, to be honest. If I could just sort of try and match it or keep with Leo, I would have been happy. Anyway, that's probably enough of that. Let's get into the race. We'll chuck that up there, and we'll chuck up the battle box there. Beautiful. All right. Let's get underway. So 12 laps here, of course, at the Hungaroring. And we're away. So I got a good start, and I'm alongside Alex Wilford straight away. Briefly poked my nose ahead. I thought maybe... See, the interesting thing there was I had a good start, had a bit of draft on the run down to turn 1, but because I had a car in front of me and and Wilford had a clear run, he could brake better than I could. So, that was okay. Not the worst thing in the world to come out third and come out clean. And you'll see Leo he's already made a move and he's up to P4. So immediately I was on the lookout for Leo and how we were going to go with him, because like I said, he's a benchmark for me in this field. As I said, haven't raced with many of the other folk in here. It was only a 2.1, I think, K strength of field. So and the guys around us are no slouches. Obviously they put it in front of us in quali, but with Leo starting 5th, it's another good example of why sometimes quali results don't necessarily... Now, this is interesting. So Wilford in front made a mistake, and I put Leo alongside of me. I was disappointed with that because I thought I might be able to capitalise on the mistake. Leo and I had a little 0x net code contact there, but Leo backed out because I had the inside run there, which helped me, of course. And we're back to line of stone. But that was interesting. I didn't get to capitalise on the mistake of Wilford in front, but also it put me in danger of Leo from Leo in behind, because the thing in my mind here, as soon as Leo gets in front of me, I'm at risk of getting dropped. If he gets in front of me here and then navigates his way better than I do through the two cars in front, assuming we can both do that, of course. Once he's in clean air, I'll be honest with you, I've got no chance of catching him. So my idea is I've got to try and keep him behind me as long as I can, and if he does get in front of me, I need to hang on for dear life. That's the goal here. So nothing much doing here at the moment. It's a notoriously difficult track to pass out of course, but you know, we do what we can. And like I said, the strategy here, and we'll see as the race unfolds, you'll see what I mean. And I'll probably break it down a bit at the end if I'm honest, because there's some really interesting things that I thought came out of this race and stuff that I'll be working on in the remaining race day this week. Now, shoved it up the inside here at turn 5. I thought it was a good opportunity because Wilfred was compromising his braking and left because of the car in front of him, and he left the door open on the inside there, and we were side by side through here. I thought we did pretty well to get through. Little netcode contact there actually, but we both got away okay. This side by side's not too bad through here if you think about it. It's only lap 2, tyres are not up, but all the while look at that car in the distance of Takatsuji. He's 1.3. I backed out at that point for that reason, if nothing else. I thought, oh well, there's no point in going like for a whole lap here with this, because it's just going to cost us too much time. And Takatsuji's put it on pole. I've never raced him before. I know the Japanese are very strong in quali at the moment, but that's not to say his race pace wasn't enough to like let him run away if given the chance. And we've given him a chance. He's 1.3 out in clear, so he's essentially broken draft at that point. And at this point I'm thinking, oh, and I should mention too, you'll notice Leo's dropped back to P6. He had a big moment when I was looking up the inside of Wilfred at turn 5. Leo had a massive moment, and I'm sitting here going, oh, let me get in front of these two if I can. I've got to work hard to do that, because if Leo's, and you can see him in the mirrors, he's just made up one spot through turn 1. If I can get a couple of cars in between him and me, you know, I might have more of a chance. Well, I will have more of a chance, if not an overall chance of winning the race. So at this point as well, I'm thinking, oh, does Wilfred have the pace to catch Takatsuji? He's not really putting a massive dent in it. He's put a couple of tenths, Connor, a bit of a whoops there. It's a real challenge on the exit of turn 4 there. Not only from the 1X on the edge of the ripple strips, but also the lack of grip, and that was actually what caught Leo out. I looked at that one on replay after the race. Wilfred goes very deep on that first apex there, cost him a bit of time and put me right back in touch. So you can see it's not like the pace difference is overwhelming here. It's not like I'm monstering the back of Wilfred. And I'm thinking at this point, oh, you know, Leo's going to get back here. Maybe I just let him catch up the gap. You know what I mean? Let him get past and catch up the gap. But there I think, oh, it's lap 3. It's a 2-minute lap. Quarter of the race done at the end of this. We do sort of not want to let Takatsuji get too comfortable up there either. A lot of different lines. I like the late turn in there that you saw Wilfred do there. I'm not sure if it's faster or not. And then he takes an earlier turn in here than some do. This long right-hander at the turn 14 last corner. Yeah, it's interesting. And a lot of it will come down to style, I think, as Leo sets the fastest lap behind us. Now I've got a good run here at the end of this. Let me see, I'm full side by side into the braking zone, and Wilfred gives it up. I was very careful on the exit. I wasn't sure if he was going to come back at me, so I hugged the left hand side of the circuit on exit. I didn't come straight over because I want the inside to turn 2, and at that point just let the car run out, use all the track there, discourage the look up the inside at turn 3. Stay on the left hand side here, so if he is going to have a look, he's got to look around the outside of turn 4, which he doesn't. So move's done at that point, and the only last thing you got to watch is take the 1X. Is he going to come up the inside here? So I take a nice early turn in, but look behind, and Leo has taken advantage of that, and Leo's come with me. So unfortunately for Lemus, it's 2 for 1, and now it's cost us a bit of time. We're a little over 1.5 seconds behind Takatsuji at this point. And I've got Leo in the draft. So yeah, there's two things to really think about there. Have we got the hot lap pace to catch Takatsuji? And what have we got for Leo behind us, who, as you can see, he's already made a 10th through the technical second sector. That second sector, I think, is where the really quick guys stand out, because it is so technical. It's quite fun to get right. That last sort of sweeping right-hander at turn 11 that you take in fourth gear. If you're really brave, you open up the corner on the ripple strip on the outside on entry. Hope the car doesn't over-rotate, or you don't bottom out too much and get stuck and don't get to turn in time. But then it's barely a lift at that point, and it's a super fun corner to get right. But the three corners, or the two corners preceding it after the chicane there, at turn 6 and 7, are interesting to set up. How much do you compromise to open up turn 9 and through turn 8? So yeah, a lot to think about here. You can see why drivers like driving it. Like, I think F1 drivers say they love driving here, but I tell you what, it's a real challenge to get an overtake done, particularly when there's a real equivalency between the drivers, sort of thing. So yeah, real interesting. So we've put a little dent. We've put 2.5, maybe 3.5 tenths on Takatsuji in front, and Leo, of course, he's caught 2.5 tenths on us, nearly approaching 3 now in the last lap. So of course, Leo's got the benefit of draft, but he's also got the benefit of being a lot quicker than me typically. So I was concentrating on my track usage. You can see it wasn't too bad. So that's turn 8. We compromise. In fact, I don't compromise as much on exeter there to open up turn 9. Use all the track there. Keep it tight through there. Move out. Oh, that's not even very brave there. You can grab a lot more ripple strip there. Anything more than the green on exit though, that's a 1x. That'll spoil your qualies, that's for sure. Be a few people dropping licence points here this week, I think, including myself. I've already dropped one in 2 races. Yeah, because I did another one after this. And yeah, I'm no longer A4, let's put it that way. Anyway, so we're inside the magical second on Takatsuji. So in clean air, we've got a 10th or 2 on him each lap, which is good. So he's done a 2:02.8, we've done a 2:02.4, and Leo has done a 2:02.1 as the fastest lap. I'll claim half of that at least, because he's in my draft, of course. You know, without me, he's nothing. Now got my brakes stuck there, stuffed my braking there. Didn't get stuck, it was my brain that was stuck. Now Leo pulled alongside, but then doesn't really go for the move there, doesn't commit to it at least. So we were a little bit slower through there because he was side by side, but I really didn't want to give it up. See, I stay over on the left a bit longer than you might otherwise until I see him back out. You can just see in the mirror he backed out, so I'm safe to move over and open up turn 4. You can see we're right closing up now on Takatsuji. Caught him about 2 tenths this lap so far, but of course now we're draft assisted. Alright, through turn 8 again, grab the ripple strip, compromise, probably more than that if I'm honest. Get on the gas as early as you dare in third. Hold it tight through 9, 10 now. Oh, yep, and 11, I beg your pardon. 11 there, that beautiful 4th gear corner. So this will be the halfway point in the race, and we're about half a second back and closing on Takatsuji, the leader. So it's time to start thinking about attacking him whilst defending at the same time. So if I try to get in the head of Leo at this point, he's probably okay with half the race to go not to attack me too much, because we've done the yards to catch the leader. I imagine he's thinking maybe let's dispatch with him if we can, and then move forward and attack the the next challenge, which is me. See, I'm a long way back there. I show the nose, make the apex. I was surprised there actually. Takatsuji really, you know, facilitated that. He didn't need to let me get in there at all. In fact, I was expecting him not to. I was ready to make room for him to come across in front of me and take the racing line there, but he gave it up. Real easy, actually. I was surprised. He was the pole sitter after all. He had a gap, but maybe there's some psychology there. We've just pulled him back from a potentially race-winning lead because we didn't have draft. And I know when I think about that sort of thing, if someone's, you know, been out of draft and they've got back onto me, there's a legit pace difference there, and I need to think about how I'm going to manage it when they catch me. And to be honest with you, that's the scenario. That's the scenario I could be facing here. Not because he did it this race, but because I know Leo's quicker than me. If he gets past Takatsuji as well, and it's the two of us up front, that's assuming, of course, Takatsuji doesn't come back at us. But the way he sort of opened up and let me go through on the inside suggests to me that he's perhaps he's thinking about the overall race result rather than attacking to take the win, because you see Leo's gone through as well already. I think he must have gone through there, so I wasn't paying attention. He must have gone through at turn 12, which is a fairly legit passing opportunity as we come through the final corner now at turn 14. I always get caught up on that inside if I'm not careful, get a bit of wheel spin, and it costs you a bit of exit speed, which of course you feel then all the way down to the end of this straight. Now Leo's about 6/10 behind as we cross the line. And you can see he didn't catch up too much on that front straight, half a tenth by the time he's got the better exit out of turn 1 and continued with a bit of draft. So this is now, I guess, we're into the second half of the race. Leo and I have managed to move our way forward after a combination of poor qualifying and a little bit of battling to get through. Leo made can I tell you, a really big mistake, a race-ending mistake for a lot of people, and just really shows you the difference in calibre between Leo and your average driver. Not only was he able to catch it, but he was able to catch back up and be in a position then to take the win. I'll probably have a look at a few key moments in this one at the end, and that was probably a real key one. It overlapped with the battle that I had with Wilford, so unfortunately you'll see on the timing tower Wilford made, can I say, not too dissimilar a mistake to what Leo made, but Wilford ended up in the wall and he bailed on the race, which was unfortunate for him and would have cost him a bit. I'm sure he was quite disappointed after qualifying on the front row. So Leo's now right on my tail, looming large in the mirrors, and I'm starting to think strategy about, you know, how we defend and potentially attack. So I'm thinking, well, it's really the first sector where the overtake challenge will come, which is on the back of the exit of this corner, and into the primary passing opportunity, which is turn 1. So he's close enough at 3/10 for me to take a defensive line into turn 1. I don't want to give him the inside of turn 1. So he moves over to level. I checked at that point to make sure there was enough room. I left him a lot of space on the outside, hit the apex, get on the gas early, but a little bit too early with the wheels on the ripple strip. Got a bit loose. Now we're side by side coming into turn 2, so he's got the inside. I've got to go around the outside of turn 2, nice and tight. He got a good drive out of there. I get the inside through 3 and a good drive through there. Now the all important question, do we go side by side through turn 4? Alex says no, not with 3.5 laps to go, thank you. So if that's the last lap, I contest that, but I haven't done enough laps here this week to do it, you know, on lap 9 of 12, to be honest. And it's not that I don't trust Leo. I've got tremendous trust in Leo, but yeah, that wasn't the move for me at that time of the race. And now it's a different kind of puzzle. 3.5 laps to go. What have we got for Leo? And remember, he's nearly put it in the wall, you know. A few laps ago, he was down in P6. And now P6 is 6.5 seconds behind us. And he's leading the race. And I'm already, you can see, 3 to 4 tenths behind. 5 tenths now in the braking zone into the final couple of corners here at 13 and then 14. And I'll be honest with you, my theory on the way the draft and everything works, if you're half a second behind, as we are here, you're hanging on. You're not really in a position to battle. So you watch here, near enough to 5.5 tenths on the exit of the final corner with a roughly equivalent exit. And, you know, I get maybe 1.5 tenths of draft and 2 tenths of draft there. And even with braking deeper, you know, as an overall package of draft and braking into turn 1, you only get 3 tenths. And it was only about, you know, 0.5 tenth or so in the braking zone, which means you've got to be a lot closer than that to make a move. So I'm already half thinking, oh, am I just in hang on mode and you know, and will I get a chance to have a crack at the great Leo, the great man himself, before the end of the race? Because I'm sitting already, I'm out, I've already lost about 1 tenth. And this is coming up is this technical section that I'm talking about that I think really differentiates people. So let's have a look. We're 0.32 on the entrance to the chicane. I'm trying to use more of the track here, you can see, using the extremity there. Didn't quite compromise. See how Leo compromised a lot more than I did there and turned in later, opened up the corner a bit better. So I'm already 1 tenth down through there. Better use of the track there by me, thankfully, as in compared to myself, not compared to him. But so I lost 1 tenth through that technical sector, 1.5 tenths, 2 tenths by the time we're coming up to the final 2 corners. That's the difference in someone who's got the technical elements just nailed that much better. Very interesting to observe, and that's only 1 lap, but I think you'll find, and see now, I lost 1 tenth over the total of that lap because I came out 0.5 second behind out of the final corner last lap, and I'm 6 tenths behind this lap. And honestly, if you think about it, it was actually 3 tenths over the course of the lap because I was 0.3 behind at the exit of turn 1. I was also 0.3 behind on the entry of turn 6. So I was in half a lap through that technical section, 3 tenths of a second, and that's a big deal. When your primary passing opportunities at turn 1 and you're starting that 5 or 6 tenths behind, you just don't have a chance to make an overtake. The other spot that you might be able to make it is at turn 4, where I backed out the previous lap. But as you can see, at 0.5 second back, you're no chance of that. And the other spot then is potentially through the final series of corners, starting in the braking zone at turn 12, that right-hander after the sweeping 4th gear turn 11. So this lap we're starting further back. We're starting 0.5 second, 0.55 back. So yeah, net loss of 2 tenths there over the course of that lap, even in, you know, pretty good draft. I think the first 0.5 second draft, as in, you know, 0.1 to 0.5 or 0.4 is much better draft than the 0.5 to 1 second gap. Did a bit better that lap. We're inside 0.5 second by the time we've actually made a bit through that technical section. And I'd suggest perhaps even if I just equaled Leo there through there, would have been enough to get a little bit of help from the draft. But there you go. We're back to that 0.5 second mark and we're coming up to the last lap. So realistically, I needed to be 2 tenths closer, 3 tenths closer really, to have a crack into turn 1. And Leo's just done the fastest lap in clean air, and I'm in his draft, and I'm 2/100 slower. But we're still in it, and we've almost gapped Lemus behind us. So at this point, yeah, I'm toast, because the best passing opportunity at turn 1's gone, and unless I get a bit desperate or Leo makes a mistake, the next passing opportunity in this sector is at turn 4 up here. Turn 5 is also a passing opportunity if you throw it up the inside of this next right-hander, if Leo makes a mistake there, but nah, he's far enough ahead. I have caught up a tenth and a half through the first sector and a half, but this technical section here is where you see he's using more track on entry there to open up the first part of that chicane. And you can see that helped him that gave him a tenth through that chicane alone. Better kiss of that apex there at turn 9 through 10 now, up to 11, 4th gear. Fun corner there. Don't touch anything more than the green there, because your 1X is out there. And this is your final passing opportunity here into turn 12, or to at least set it up to the line. But again, I'm not close enough. So, yeah, that was kind of that, and I'm not close enough for the line here. So the last, 3 laps were me just trying to do anything I could to catch Leo, but congratulations to him. He's come away with the win by that. Look at that, by that half a second. I just couldn't get inside the half a second, and that's what I mean about if you're half a second or more behind. You're not fast enough. You're not genuinely in the battle in my books. So, yeah, that was that. All right, so what we might do just quickly is I want to look at a couple of things. So let's go back to start of the race, and I want to look at the battle with Wilford, the mistake that Leo made, those 2 key moments, because they were at the same time. Let's just get a good camera angle here. Oh, far chase. No, there we go, chase. Yep. Okay. So let's fast forward. I think the battle I had with Wilford was, I think it was this lap here, on lap 2. Is it here? Oh, I've come, so my thinking here was he's opened up and he's been compromised, so I've chucked it up the inside. There's room there, and I leave him room on the outside. I hug the inside. He sees me coming and leaves the door open, which is good. Well played. And then we go through here, side by side. I'm still there. Leave him racing room. He leaves me racing room. Good from both there, I'd say, which is good work. And then, you can see, I think it was a netcode touch. Yeah, you can see I haven't actually hit him, but gee, it's tight. Just see that little wobble there. We got a 1X. Now, let me just see, is Leo... Yeah, where's Leo? He's way back here. Let's see what happened to Leo at that same point. So he's right behind me and he's just clipped the grass. It's unsettled him enough. And then not only is there a 1X and a slowdown out here, you can see the rear of the car out and the steering input to the right as well. And it's not so much the steering input as the angle of the car. Now you can see he's hit the brakes, hit the anchors and caught it. Really well done. A lot of people won't catch it at that point, and then he's come back on and realistically, and this is what I talk about the caliber, right? So he's done that. He's back in 6th position at the same time, at least 6th. So what's that? 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th position. Meanwhile, we're having this battle. Excuse me. So we continued there, side by side at this point. I think I gave it up. Yeah, just gave it up. We're losing too much time. All right, so I think let's have a look at the move here that I make. It's a fair... Is it a fair way back? Oh, we're side by side in the braking zone. That's pretty good. That's okay. Yeah, he's given that up, but I think I'd earned that. All right, so then we're chasing down the Japanese driver. Let's have a look at this one. And then the final thing I want to have a look at is the battle between Leo and I. So you see I'm a long way back, but no fear of making the corner, and the Japanese driver just gives it to me. As in just gives me the corner. I run him out a little bit, but I leave him enough. You can see here by the time I've stopped, there's still a car width on exit. So yeah, I fully expected him to probably turn in and take the corner there. I was prepared to back out, but then when I saw him sort of give me the corner, I went with it. So, all right, so let's find this. And this was the key moment for me, this battle with Leo, right? So, and this is the real sort of thing I wanted to focus on at the end of it. And I know what are we, half an hour in, and it's the focus point. But anyway, hang on. Excuse me, just had to cough. All right, so the key point for me here is that it is notoriously difficult to pass here, right? Turn one is always seen as the primary passing opportunity, the best place to overtake, right? Now, the traditional thing to think about is what I'm doing here, which is covering the inside to defend the corner, leave the driver the outside, make him go the long way around. Now, you can see Leo goes out to the far side of the track. I come across to defend. I could certainly move a fair bit further forward than that, if I'm honest. A fair bit further to the left, perhaps, to keep him out there. But he's able to break deeper than I am because he's on the inside. Sorry, I'm on the inside, and I have the tighter angle. Leo can break deeper and go deeper into the corner around the outside and potentially get a better run out on a less compromised entry, right? So get a better exit out of that corner. So then he has the run. So he goes from the outside of turn one to the inside of turn two, right? Here we go, and I'm forced to go around the outside, but then I get an equal or better drive, and I've got the inside into turn three. So you can see on the exit of turn three, we're side by side, right? And what comes up ahead of you? It's turn four. And like I said, on lap 9, I'm not prepared to go side by side through turn 4, let alone on the outside. So the point that I'm making here with this little demonstration is I often talk about practicing different lines, okay? So like I said, this was my first race of the week, and I've had this in mind as we come into this track, but I haven't done enough practice to defend turn 1 on the outside, okay? Because it is a legitimate tactic. Because what you can see here, imagine Leo's in defending from me and I've come up the inside. The overtake happens at turn 4, right? So you're thinking all the way back at turn 1, how am I strongest through turn 1 so that I can either pass or defend by the time we hit turn 4, right? So, and thinking that, yeah, I've got the outside on turn 1, which is not the best position here at turn 1, but it gives me the best position at turn 4. It gives me the inside run at turn 4. So when you think about strategy at a track like this, it's so difficult to pass at. I encourage you to practice both inside and outside lines at turn 1 because, and I'm not going to pretend that the outside line's going to work for everyone at turn 1, and not everyone's going to back out at turn 4 like I did at that stage of the race, right? But you can see here in the battle, yeah, see, I backed out. We would have been legit side by side through turn 4. And like I said, you can do it, but yeah, it's you know, it's the stuff of the last lap in my mind. So yeah, something something to think about anyway. And that was the sort of the main point that I wanted to make out of this one. And yeah, really something to think about there. So side by side through turn 1, you can see I've got the compromised entry, the compromised exit. I could have used much more track on entry and exit, and that would have helped me be a little bit further up alongside through turn 2 here, and perhaps even clear at turn 3. Maybe I would have been in front at turn 3 and Leo would have been the one backing out, but Leo's executed that series of corners better than me. So yeah, certainly something to think about anyway. So yeah, I might leave it there. I mean, we sort of got a glimpse at the results. Leo finished first, I finished second. Juan Lemos, he got third ahead of Takatsuji, the guy who stuck it on pole. He finished fourth. He still picked up good points, actually. He got 40 I rating for that. And it was a good afternoon out for him. So anyway, folks, thank you for tuning in to the race replay again this week. We got Skipjack coming up tonight. Maybe put that up depending on how it goes. If it's another one to have a think about like this one, we might do it as well. Otherwise, check us out on Top Split TV on Twitch tomorrow night, Sunday night, each and every Sunday night for Sunday Night Lights. The best Skippy action going around. We've averaged a strength of field of 5,200 this season, and some of the best racing I've seen in a really long time. So the community's right behind it, and it's been a great season so far. So come and check us out, 9:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Time, which is GMT plus 10 at the moment. Come and check us out. Join us on the track or on Top Split TV on Twitch, or the Top Split on YouTube for all the race replays like this one. All right, folks, thanks for joining us, and until next time, ciao for now.